Hey, welcome back to Tonser's channel. Today we have an unboxing and review of the Epic Toys Series 3 Wrestling Megastars set. So here we get just 4 figures this time around, which is I think a good thing because there's way too many figures in Series 2 I believe, and then it helps with consumers to not pay so much for a set, so I like that. It's limited to 4 wrestlers. So let's look at each figure in the box. We get different type of packaging this time around. We get ones that slide off so that you can keep them carded or sealed, so which is cool, but I'm just gonna open them up. First we get Bobby Heenan here. Back of the box looks really clean, very good. Bobby Heenan, weight 5'10", or height 5'10", weight 242 pounds, from Beverly Hills, California. You stick with him and he'll take you to the top. The greatest manager in wrestling history of wrestling can now guide your wrestling Megastars to championship gold. Here's some of the companies that worked with Epic Toys on this line. Get concept art from Kippy, sculpt from Matias Cabrera, paint work from a very cool individual, CMW Toys, photography, card design by Seller, and portrait by Mike McGee. And next up we get the Deathmatch King, Atsushi Onita. Atsushi Onita, 5'11", 218 pounds, Nagasaki, Japan. Deathmatch pioneer Atsushi Onita is no stranger to violence. Wrestling for over 50 years, Onita still finds himself being battered with barbed wires and exploding rings. Alright, next we get a really cool one that I'm surprised Epic Toys was able to sign. We get Eddie Guerrero here, so get him on the Fog Splash there. Height 5'8", weight 220 pounds, El Paso, Texas. Eddie burst onto the scene in the late 80s and lied, cheated, and stole his way to the very top of the wrestling world. Eddie could also wrestle with the very best of them. Viva la raza. So very cool. And lastly we get Boris Zukov. Not too familiar with him, but he's 6'2", 254 pounds, from Siberia, USSR. The evil Zukov was already ready for war and achieved great success as one half of the dastardly Bolsheviks. Boris' large cranium was an incredible, dangerous weapon in his arsenal. So yeah, now we can just slide these out and we'll take a closer look at them. Alright, so very easily we're able to get them out of the package, and the cool thing is you also get the cards nicely for to save in case you want to save the cards, and so that's a big plus too. I wish they did that sooner so I could have kept them, because now I threw them all out I believe, and so it's all good. But we get 4 figures, which is good. Not a lot of accessories looking into it, but we get some cool characters of the wrestling world. So first off, we get Bobby the Brain Heenan, one of the greatest manager, and I grew up actually hearing his announcer, which was so cool. He just brought so many good memories during my childhood growing up. Very funny guy, and so cool to get him as a retro figure. So you get this head sculpt, looks just like him in his young days. It was crazy how much he drastically changed in his appearance after he was diagnosed with cancer and everything. But yeah, rest in peace Bobby Heenan. We get him in the red suit here with the gold watch, gold ring and wrist. Very cool. And then the black pants. Get him pointing at himself in the head like the brain always does. Closed fists on the side here. So very cool. You can manage your figures with Bobby the Brain. And then next up we get Atsushi Onita. I believe he went by a different name. I'm not too familiar. I mean, I've only seen clips of his matches, the barbed wire Japanese death matches. So that's how I know of him. But yeah, we'll get him here. The trademark blue trunk, Onita. Very basic designs on these figure, but it captures the wrestler. So we get Atsushi Onita here, and then a wrestler I'm more familiar with, Eddie Guerrero here. Super cool. You get the smirky Eddie look. This look was more like when he was just came to WWF as Latino Heat, but the gear itself I recall mostly from WCW days when he was a heel. But I believe he did wear it in WWF too, but can't quote me on that. But again, very cool. Eddie here. Gold is always, this attire is always like iconic for him in a lot of ways. So we get Eddie here. Very cool. And we've gotten this in the Mattel Elite and Ultimate Edition form, I believe. So cool. We get retro figure form of Eddie. I know WWF or WWE Mattel is also having a Superstars version of Eddie. So, and lastly we get Boris Zukov. Not really familiar with him, honestly. He comes with a flag here that placed on his hands here. You get the cap is removable. It looks a lot like his face, like the sculpt and everything. And you get the red tire, the logo in the middle, that's a CCP. I just wish I knew him a little more, but happy to add it just because I like to complete the series, of Epic Toys Wrestling Megastars. Yeah, so if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe.